why your life shouldn't be controlled by your diet as a sensitive person. So your diet is important. You do need to set some boundaries, some standards for your diet. You do have certain requirements. You should be getting some greens, you should be getting some protein, meat, vegetarian, whatever you prefer. You should be trying to pump the brakes on sugar and get enough water. But beyond some of these basic requirements, it's not a good idea to obsess about diet and that you're avoiding excess sugar, excess junk food that you don't need in your life. But beyond that, caring too much about your diet can really mess up your life. It's like you can't leave your home because your home is perfectly controlled and you have all healthy food. But the minute you step outside, there is bubble tea, there is junk food, there's chocolate, and all of it is screaming out for you to consume. It's like pizzas and takeout food and whatever is out there, you name it, it will be a temptation. And if you can't leave the house in fear of what other food is going to be out there to haunt you, then your diet is controlling your life and it's messing it up potentially. So you don't want to go so far and so extreme into your diet that it becomes a form of self-abuse. It's like I have to look like a size 0 and I have to fit into a bikini. Otherwise, I'm never going to find the love of my life. And that's just not true. You can be heavy and you can be proud of your body and still find love. There are a lot of healthy people out there. 3 in 4 people in the United States are obese now, which is not a great thing for health. But the good news about that for your romantic life is you do not need to be perfect to find a good partner. Trying to be perfect is going to be like the death of finding a partner, because logical people are going to sniff out how obsessive you are as a sensitive with diet and your obsession with looks if you're trying to look a certain age, and it's not going to be attractive for them. They are on the opposite side of the spectrum usually of just not caring, at least when it comes to logical men. I have experienced as a sensitive woman. If you're a sensitive man, it might be a bit different. Having said that, obsessing about your looks can really ruin your life, and it's so emphasized because yes, looking good and having a good diet is good for your health, and you do get more income when you're a better looking person. Those things are statistically true. And so it is important to some extent to take good care of yourself, to make sure that you're clean and you're well dressed and you show up in the world really trying your best to look neat and tidy. Like, that's appropriate, that's good. But we don't want to become so obsessed with all of the filters and all of the fashions. We can spend a boatload of money trying to look a certain way to get status. And men do this too in their own ways. Maybe they try to look good, or they try to buy an expensive car. For either gender, we each have our things on how to look good, and diet supports us in that adventure. Having said that, it really messes with us if we allow it to possess us. And we don't want it to possess us. We want to be focused on our mission. We want to be focused on making the world a better place. Beyond being careful of the ingredients in processed food that you consume, and beyond being cautious of how much fat and sugar you consume, you really have to let go of whatever you're eating and live your life. If you're constantly obsessed with losing weight and you're constantly obsessed about your health, it's not going to be a good thing. However, if you let it get out of control and you're so overweight and you're so unhealthy that you must pay attention to the point of obsession in order to save your own life, that's not good either. So you want to pay enough attention that you're staying out of trouble, that you're living a healthy lifestyle, but you don't want to be so obsessed that it's ruining your life and ruining your relationships. Our emotions tend to rule our decisions about food, and that's hardwired into us from the time of when we were starving on this planet as human beings. Not too long ago, starving actually was the #1 reason we died as human beings and didn't survive just a few hundred years ago. It killed us off more than even our wars did. And so it's hardwired into us. If we're hungry, we're uncomfortable, our survival is threatened, and we better go find something that's filled with fat and sugar, because those are the things that weren't poison out in the wild. Those were the things that helped us stay healthy longer. But now, in the proliferation of cakes and snacks and ice cream that we've had for a couple hundred years now, it's the thing that's ruining our health, this natural instinct. And so We have to learn how to reprogram our emotions to feel good about eating healthy. It's one thing to say, I'm going to live my life by logic, but it's a bit unrealistic. It's like our emotions are going to take over at some point. So yes, use your logic, and then use your logic to train your emotions in this area, to reprogram yourself to feel good about eating healthy, to feel good about other things and other activities in your life that aren't related to food, so you're not concentrating on it. Have you noticed that when you're really concentrated on something, even when I make videos, even today, it's like I didn't actually notice I was hungry. I had to remind myself to go and eat a little bit and take a break because I was so absorbed in the process of making films and videos for you. So whatever it is that you're doing, if you find that thing that is so engrossing and so engaging, that's going to be like your passion. That's going to be your reason not to retire. And that's going to be your reason not to overeat or sabotage yourself in your personal relationships as well. When I was at fitness class the other day, one of the common sentiments I was hearing from the people in my class was, I can't wait to retire, which I found so interesting because I plan to never retire because I love what I do. However, I believe in saving for retirement in case in some way in my future I cannot do the thing that I am doing now. Then I have options to do something else. Or if I want to take an extended break, then I am able to do that. But I don't actually believe in retirement because I don't believe in hating my job. I believe in loving what I do and being active for the rest of my life, even into my 80s. It's like, why would you give up doing the thing that allows you to help people and interact and be part of the world? Most 80-year-olds are pretty isolated and feeling lonely in their homes, and they don't really have access to the outside world, although they have retirement and they have money. So anyway, that's a bit of a sidebar, but your diet should support whatever you love as your mission. It should not be the primary focus of your life. Unless your life is threatened and you have to diet in order to save your own life, then that's a bit different. But we want to prevent that from happening by paying enough attention to our diet that we're not being stupid and eating things that are going to make us unnecessarily fat. But we are eating things that are going to nurture us and support us and give us fuel and energy to keep working and keep going and have stamina when we're in the process of serving other people. That's how you learn to have a happy, healthy relationship with food that doesn't take over your life. You're logically not trying to control every single move, so you're a perfect size 0, and you're also not emotionally binge eating all the time sugar, cakes, and snacks because you're not feeling so hot. You want to have a nice balance where you've trained your emotions to crave the healthy things in balance. So you're not obsessing, you're not worrying too much about food. You're just engaging with food in a healthy manner that supports you in your more important tasks in life.